All right. Nick? Yeah, it's on now.
I was just curious how you are organizing your content campaigns now, as far as, well, first of all, when you said separate things like the text ads into one ad group, say you're duplicating your ad groups, one for text, one for image, every single ad group, and that doesn't like get interfered in any way. They know how to, okay. And then the other question was, how are you, because you know now that with Speed PPC and all these tools where we can have in the search network, you know, one keyword per ad group, that doesn't work so well in the content network, so we don't just copy and paste into the content network. So how are you, like in the Ryan Dice course, like I was surprised because they had a lot of different techniques for how to organize your content campaign. Are you following like a similar structure where you have one ad group that's just all market-related terms and one that's all like thought stringing terms and all your long tail ones in one ad group, or how are you organizing it these days?
When it comes to organization, there really isn't any. I have wholesale traffic secrets, and I've seen it, and I understand the methodology that they're doing. But for me, this whole game goes back to what I just said earlier on. If you know that your EPC is 50 cents, then you've got to go out and find every 25-cent click out there. So if you go into my content network campaigns, some of the ad groups will be like, what the hell? Completely out to lunch. Like for dieting, I started going after Britney Spears. Because everybody's talking about Britney Spears dieting. Maybe there's some girls who are interested in Britney Spears dieting because they want to go on a diet and stuff like that, right? I mean, your job is to get as much traffic as you can. And then use the placement targeting reports to weed out the websites that are performing. Like if you lived in a perfect world, ask Google to give you all the traffic in the world. And then tell them, I'll worry about weeding out the bad websites. At least I'll be able to determine which websites are performing, which websites aren't performing. So when it comes to organization, as far as it, there really is none for me. I just kind of go out and try to grab as much as I can. That's about it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Thanks. There are plenty of tools out there that tell you if you're going to place an ad directly within the Google search network, what the average cost per click is. But how do you determine that within the content network? And let me rephrase that so you understand what I'm saying. So when I engage in a campaign, how do I know roughly where my starting bid should be so that I show up for maximum impressions?
I don't know of any tool that does that. Does Matt? Do you know? No, I don't know. On the content network, it's a hit and miss. You don't know where to bid. You don't know where. You'll generally know for, okay, if you want to get into like dieting or finance, you're going to have to generally bid higher. Whatever you generally see on the search network, the bids are not going to be nowhere as near, but generally finance and dieting, you're going to have to bid higher. So chances are on the content network, it's going to be just as competitive, so you're probably going to have to start higher. So I generally might start a little bit higher on the content network, kind of see the impressions that kind of come in, because you don't want a whole wave of traffic to come in and then you get screwed in the end. So I might start, 40, 50 cents.
So there's no formula like 50% of what would be on the search.
No.
You're starting.
How could you write a formula for that? I wouldn't even know where to start. Right. How would they determine that? Because when you got thousands of websites dropping out of the AdSense program, thousands of websites coming into the AdSense program, so many variables changing. Like, my hat's off to Google. I mean, that's why they hire the smartest guys in the world. Just think of this algorithm and what's behind this whole algorithm to determine over 1 billion different web pages what ads to show out of 1 billion different ads. It's pretty phenomenal if you think about it. But I'm saying to you guys in the rooms that if we fully understand this algorithm and you fully understand how it works, there is a case for severe domination here. And I've seen it in some guys running content network campaigns where you're in #1 position on a 5, 10, 15 cent bid in a competitive market. It's because you got a damn good click-through rate. Like I said, with image ads, that's all Google has to go with as far as a quality score. So it's nowhere near as difficult as it is on search. Problem is get the traffic. If you can get the traffic, figure out how to mold it after that. Yeah.
Do you see the content network as the solution to getting around the increasing problem of in-spite of
I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but that game's going to change probably in 6 months. Because with these spy tools coming out on the search networks, guaranteed in 6 months, which is going to be pretty phenomenal, spy tools on the content network. It's coming. It's coming. All right? Huh? 6 minutes? Okay.
Nor do you know if you can actually target certain times of the day on the content network?
Yeah, you can turn it off and on by time.
And that's something too I've done that we might talk about is you might find that your diet offer converts between 4 and 7 p.m. And if you just have your ad come on, you're giving Google's users the best experience of their life between 4 and 7.
Yeah, if you could determine that.
If
Yeah.
your conversions are higher than everybody else.
You'll know that by running a time placement report, like time-wise, if you have your pixel placed. That's why you should.
Affiliate manager can do that for you too.
Yeah, yeah. Direct Track, they mark every lead, right? Well, but they don't give you a time. They only give you a date.
But
they have it in the back end.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if you can get that information, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, Wasim used to
Your
do
rep
that.
has to pull it for you.
Okay.
That's not direct.
All right. I'm just gonna start again. This strategy came to me from my good friend. Most of you probably already know it, but I'm going to give Mark Roth credit for it because he told me about it, and then it helped me make tens of thousands of bucks. So I'm forever grateful to him. He told me that we were doing a webinar when we first came out with Pay-Per-Click Formula 1.0, and he was on the call. And he taught me years ago that if Google is going to sit out there and figure out what website's relevant for your ad, let them do all the work. Saves you the time from having to use Site Sniper Pro, Content Bully, and all these tools, even though they're good tools. Google's going to be the best tool when it comes to that. Let them figure it out. They're the ones who have developed the algorithm, okay? So you sit back, you run your CPA network or your CPA campaign on the content network, have your Google Pixel placed, okay? After a few weeks, run a placement report to find out which web pages are pulling in the leads. What do? You download that to Excel, you cut and paste everything that converted for you, and you paste it into a placement targeting campaign. Chances are, I would probably say, and you guys probably agree with me, 9 times out of 10, guess what happens? Now you're specifically on the web pages that are converting for you. You're not sitting there giving Google an option of should I place you, should I not place you. Now you're telling Google, place me, because now it converts. It's working extremely well for me, and I know it's probably working extremely well for a lot of you. So what is that in a nutshell? Start a content campaign, break up your text ad, break up your image ads. Make sure you maximized all inventory of image ads and text ads. Make sure you're split testing your image ads so that you have a higher ECMP than the sum of 4 text ads, okay, to get the maximum impressions. Take your placement report on the content network, run it, find out what websites are not converting, put them in site inclusion on the content network so your ads are not running on the content network for those ads. Then run a placement report. Again, take all your websites and web domains that are converting and dump them into a placement targeting campaign and target that, okay? Now I'm just going to go this last strategy before I get into international traffic. The site leverage strategy, you completely have, it's your own choice whether you want to do this or not. I don't know if I don't think it'll get you in trouble, but I'm just saying that it's totally up to you. It's called the site leverage strategy. Best way to get conversions off a website or clicks, become part of the website. If you go to the website, you know the website you're targeting, why not take their background, their whole appeal and everything and create a banner that actually looks part of the website? It only makes sense, right? 47? You don't have a, do you have a 48?
I think you're
After it says
Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. I put this in last night. Sorry. Okay. I figured you guys might want to know this, so I decided to put it in. Sorry about that. Site leverage. You guys don't have anything past 37, right?
No. Page 37. You're talking slide numbers, aren't you?
Page numbers. You got nothing past page 37, right?
Did you slide the page?
Why did I cut it down again? Okay, don't worry about it.
You probably have 1 slide per page.
Yeah, there's 2 per page, right? Okay, that's why I'm confused. I'm going off of 1. I'm sorry, I'm going off of 1 page. 1 page slides. Don't worry, you guys will get all the PowerPoints, okay?
just cut that number in half.
Yeah.
There you go.
Become part of the website, okay? this is what happens when you're doing placement targeting, okay? What? Oh, is it 12:30? Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll go into this after lunch. We'll all go downstairs. We'll have lunch. Deeds, where's the mic? You got the mic? Who's got the mic? Oh, you got the mic? Okay. Before you ask your question, Charles, okay? I want 3 people in the room. I want 3 people in the room. If you want a gift, okay? But only 1 out of 3 is going to get it, okay? So it's a bit of a competition, okay? Okay?
Do I have to give you an email address?
No, you have to give me your credit card for a free trial. It's even better, all right? No, no kidding, eh? Okay, you guys went to lunch. You guys have a good lunch? What? No, I don't need this tape. It's okay. No. I'll be giving away these digital camcorders. Dan had a great idea, so some of you guys can start thinking, like, was it your worst PPC horror story?
Yeah.
Who has ever got the worst PPC horror story? Share it, and we'll vote who's got the best horror story, right? And don't make it up, all right? No, you know, don't say something stupid. I was working on a PPC campaign, and Jason was in the window, and something silly. Okay. Yeah, Infusionsoft, that'll rank up there.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not PPC, though.
That one, well, neither is the HTTP bidding. When you bid on that, you move over.
Oh, yeah. That's, yeah.
Okay. The other thing is, I need you guys to do a huge, huge favor for me, okay? Most of you guys have known me long enough, all right? What I need from you guys is, from the guys who have taken the course, and you guys have made money, what I honestly need from you is, I need a testimonial, okay? If you guys could give a testimonial, Laura, my wife Huston will be outside with a camera doing testimonials. I would prefer to do that because if you guys read the pay-per-click Formula 1.0 sales letter, I don't put gurus on my sales page, okay? Because this day and age, they lack credibility. Half the time they've already been paid or endorsed to do the testimonial, and it just doesn't mean jack, okay? I could take 50 non-PPC gurus, throw them all in a room, and do PPC, and they'd be blown away. It's the same thing. I could take, including myself, 50 other guys in internet marketing, throw them into a PLR seminar, and I'd probably be blown away. Okay, so of course I'm going to be like, oh my God, PLR is the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? I want it from real people. People who were really in the trenches, people who actually did it, and people who actually use it, and people who actually succeeded. So if before you fly out or you leave tomorrow, if you guys are willing to give me a testimonial, I would greatly appreciate that. So just, he's not here, unfortunately. But by the way, I've got a ton of emails recently in the last couple of weeks from people. I'll just share them with you. One guy emailed me. He just left his dentist profession. You got the same email, right?
Well, because it was doing my stuff. So.
Yeah, as soon as he, was it as soon as he did pre-pop?
No, I mean, he'd been doing PPD for a while.
For a while and making money.
Able to really make it really take off where he needed until he started doing it.
And then there was Tom Page.
And then Tom, yeah.
The guy that went from like $30 to $300 in like 10 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Literally, and he's been doing it consistently for like 2 weeks now. So, okay. So I'd appreciate that. Let's go back to site leverage. Okay, sorry, Charles, you had a question? Before I get into it, if anybody has any questions about the content, who's got the mic?
Oh, can you hear me? All right. You were talking about sort of the difference between 1.0 and 2.0, and that just brought up a couple questions for me. One of them is, what tools different between 1.0 and 2.0?
It's good that you're asking me these questions, by the way, okay? Because it brings back things in my mind really, really quick. Two years ago when I came out with pay-per-click Formula 1.0, and this is something key to remember, okay? I was not using any single tool. There was no such thing as LPGen. There was no such thing as PPC or all these tools out there, okay? The thing about tools that most people don't understand, and you see these, these product launches for tools, and people are going crazy and buying all these tools and stuff like that. The problem with tools is that they're just tools, okay? They don't replace skill, okay? If you don't have the skill, it doesn't matter how good a tool is, okay? With that being said, there are some really good tools out there that do help in beating the system, such as Jonathan's LP-Gen. I mean, you don't need to have LP-Gen. You could theoretically sit there, create a landing page, and then do all the stuff that Jonathan's LP-Gen does automatically. But you'd have to do it by hand. You'd have to do it manually. I build all my sites manually. All these silo-structured websites, I build it manually. But there's tools, I'm sure there's tools out there that do it. PPC Riches used to do it until it got footprinted and wiped out. And I'm sure, I'm positive there's tools that probably create silo-structured websites. But for me, it's a system that I developed and a system I follow. Yeah, it's stupid, it's done manually and stuff like that. It doesn't matter, I get Laura to do it now. So she creates it all the time. I just say, okay, build me an iPod site. And she understands the system now. She understands, okay, go to ezine articles, pull 5 articles, put them in a page, make sure everything's linked together, pull the images from the CPA network, put them on, boom, Google's happy, Google's thrilled. It works for me. Okay, some people it doesn't work. With pay-per-click Formula 1.0, I don't even think I even talked about any tools because there wasn't any tools. Things like LP-Gen came out of pay-per-click Formula 1.0. And Jay Stockwell might, he's never said where Speed PPC came from, but I'm pretty sure it came from pay-per-click Formula 1.0 because when I approached him to promote it, I actually told him what campaign to set up and what to do specifically. And he emailed me back. He said, this is taking forever. And then 2 months later, Speed PPC. Speed PPC comes out or whatever, right? So there are tools that do help speed the process up and things like that. But at the end of the day, these aren't tools that can't replace manual work. They just make things faster. That's the thing that people have to understand. They're not wonder tools. And that's why, even though you look at a tool like Google Cache Detective, it's an amazing, amazing intelligence tool. Most people are not going to know what to do with it.
Do you like it?
The reason why I did not promote Google Cache Detective is because I'm preparing for my own launch, I had no time to go through it. And there's no way in hell I'm endorsing something that I haven't seen. Okay? If you guys are on my list, you saw me come out with the email for Arbitrage Conspiracy. I started off that email with, this is not an endorsement. And I ended off that email with, use your own judgment. I'm not about to put my name behind something that I've never seen. And what stunned me about a lot of these product launches is that the guys who are promoting stuff, they've never even seen the product. They've never even seen the product. And that's why I tell people who come up to me and they say, I bought so-and-so and I got jaded or I got jilted on this. I say, go back to the guy who promoted it and tell them that. Or if it's during a promotion, go back to the guy who's promoting it and say, so how well are you doing with it? You won't get an email reply. You'll probably get a support desk. That's about it. But what was your...
Well, actually, within that, you also, you talked about keyword alert. Is that still a tool that you use?
Not really, because so many tools have come along that are faster, more sophisticated, but Brad is coming out with Keyword Elite 2.0. And that's why with the PPC Classroom launch, you saw him giving away all his tools. That if you got the free DVD, you could pick out any 2 tools. I guarantee you all those tools are going to have a 2.0 version coming out, and that's the only reason why he gave them away for free. But I haven't touched Keyword Elite in a while. I mean, I stick with the basic free tools like Google Keyword Research Tool. Like, what better source to get keyword research data than Google itself? I still rely heavily on SpyFu and Keyword Spy. Because that way you can see what your competitors are bidding on. I just take the keywords, just dump it all in and just see what keywords convert.
The other question I had to do with landing pages, and specifically landing page domain names. And if you've got a landing page domain name that is relatively generic, so to speak, let's say it's freestuff.com. I know somebody else already owns that, but let's say it's freestuff.com, and they promote a variety of different offers, whether it's iPods or free groceries or whatever it is. With all the Google intelligence tools out there, is it a safe bet to use the same domain name, such as freestuff.com, or are you better off sort of masking who you are a little bit by using different domain names per offer? Do you follow what I'm saying?
I follow what you're saying. It all depends. I mean, for some offers, you might want to create a generic website just to test or whatever. But generally, when I find something winning, it has its own unique website. Okay? I will build a separate silo website for that unique offer. So for example, credit card or free credit reports or something, I will do like, if it's available, efreecreditreport.com or something like that. Because I do find that it does affect click-through rate, because it shows more relevance rather than freestuff.com or whatever, if you're trying to promote a credit offer. Does that make sense?
It does, but let's say that I found a domain name that was relevant to a few different niches, however you pronounce it. Am I better off not using the same domain name? Because of all these intelligent tools, if I found a successful campaign, figuring people will be tracking the different offers that I run, am I making sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but here's the big problem with all these tracking tools that they don't tell you about, okay? You could have Google Cache Detective, right? And you could be spying on me, right? The only problem is you don't have 8 years worth of account history. You don't have, even though you might see my ads, you don't have the account history I do. So if you actually, and you see this all in the forums, you see guys writing, I blatantly copied Chris's example from Google Cache, and I'm only getting 1 sale out of this, and I broke even, whereas Chris said he's got 3 times more sale. Because Chris has a different quality score. Right. Google takes so many variables into consideration when it comes to quality score, and account history plays a role in that. I mean, with the spy tools and all that stuff, it's the sophisticated guys who are going to use that and who are going to constantly track you. And you can't really do that because even though you might have a separate domain for every single offer you're running, you're going to have to get even more sophisticated and make sure that each domain is residing on a different IP address. Because when I'm analyzing my logs, I have guys doing reverse IP lookups on all my websites. So they're finding ways to track everything that I'm running. Okay? I can't stop that. I can get sophisticated by going to different web hosters and stuff like that, but it comes down to the 2 T's, time and traffic. Am I going to waste my time chasing guys who are going to be constantly chasing me to find out what I run, or am I just going to be a better marketer? Do you see what I'm saying? Because your quality score will always be different than somebody else. Okay. And that's the one thing. For me, if I was to take a tool like Google Cache Detective, and I promised Chris that after my launch, I would go through Google Cache Detective, because I do see the value of gathering intelligence data. From what I've been told, the interface is pretty damn clunky, and the support is bad, but he's got 2.5 million keywords worth of data going back, what, about a year?
No, to like 98.
98, so he's got the intelligence data. It's the smart guys who are going to take that. And if you're really, really smart, you're not going to sit there and duplicate the campaign on Google. You're going to go to Yahoo and you're going to go to MSN. And you're going to set it up there and you're going to dominate there. If you're smart. And that's what you do with these intelligence tools. You take the intelligence, even with the intelligence of that tool, okay, this guy's been running it for 3 years. Screw PPC, I'll just run it all on PPC. It obviously works. I'll do it on PPV, I'll do it on paper text traffic, what I'll get into later on today. I'll do it, anything, media buys that's related to that traffic or whatever keywords that he's running on. Because once you find a theme of keywords that somebody's been competitively running on for years, it's just a matter of matching up the websites that fit that same theme. It's like Google content, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I do see value in the tool, but I still told Chris I'm probably not going to endorse it until I've fully gone through it. And I wouldn't endorse it until I actually went through it and actually ran profitable campaigns. Okay. But I can see with the data that it does make sense. It is possible to do that.
If you don't mind, I just got one more question. Yeah, sure. A lot of people are talking about their teams. You have a team with Laura, and the different gentlemen talk about different team and whatnot. I definitely believe in the value of a team. What do you outsource, and what do you, as far as building a team, how do I build a team? What should I look for, and what do I delegate, so to speak?
It all depends. It depends on how much you trust people. Do you trust somebody else logging into your Google account? Only person who has access to my Google account is Laura, my administrative assistant, and my wife. That's it. Do you trust your key? Here's a word of advice, okay? This was a word of advice given to me by Mark Ling, okay? I don't want you guys to think I'm sexist or male chauvinist or whatever, okay? And it made sense when Mark told me, based on his experience. If you're going to outsource work or you're going to hire people, hire women. And I said, why? He goes, because guys tend to steal more than women do. No, I swear to God. He goes, the amount of people that they hired, guys, he goes, the amount of information that they stole from us and tried to compete us. He goes, the women don't care as much. They're more into the 9 to 5, do the job, go home to the family, take care of the family. Whereas guys are there trying to, go through the database, break into this, break into that, try to figure this, try to figure that.
Well, it's not necessarily stealing either. It's ambition, I think, to some extent.
Guys tend to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more ambitious, because still traditionally in society, I mean, even though there are the dual roles, still the woman is more inclined to take care of the children than the man is. Most men, generally abandon the kids, even if there's no seriously, if there's no marriage. You don't hear about some guy chasing some woman for alimony. It's usually the other way around, right? The guy's the deadbeat, not the mother. So they have a tendency, it's women who are more structured and want that more stability than guys who are willing to be a little bit more aggressive and steal more from you. So when it comes to outsourcing or hiring people, in my own experience, I've only been able to trust women as opposed to guys, in my own experience, okay? And this is going back to guys who I've hired based on good recommendations, who, because of those recommendations, I actually forwarded money to only have them disappear and run off because, I don't know, they couldn't do the job or whatever. It happens, there's nothing you can do about it, okay? When it comes to building a team, it depends on what you want to delegate. Do you want to delegate landing page creation because you suck at doing creatives to somebody else? That's fine. If you want to delegate keyword research to somebody else because you suck at keyword research, that's fine. If you want to do, send ad writing to somebody else. The key here is don't have one person putting all the dots together. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you give that person all the dots together, they know what is successfully running for you. And then next thing you know, you have a competitor and you don't know why. And it's because Joe, who mysteriously vanished last month, all of a sudden is bidding on what you're running.
And non-competes, if they ever work for you?
Are you going to go to court and waste money to try to enforce it?
Right.
Those are just like scare tactics, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know anybody who's enforced a non-compete. I mean, what's to stop Joe from going home and telling his wife Mary to run it? Then what? You don't got no non-compete on Mary. Yeah, it's a global economy, right? A lot of our stuff is outsourced, right? What are you going to go chase a guy in India? It's not going to get you far. Before I forget, I didn't share this in 1.0, so I should cover it now. Okay? I probably will not cover it in the 2.0 course. It'll only be said here, in this room. No, they're not spy tools. They're not spy tools in the sense that you're not seeing what ads are running consecutively for what days or whatever. They're more keyword gathering tools. And the only problem with SpyFu and Keyword Spy is once you export the list and you actually look at the keywords, you know the advertiser's an idiot right off the bat.
They're just it's not necessarily that. Because I had somebody who checked their own campaigns and all those different tools, and they all came back saying they were bidding on all these keywords.
Yeah, and sometimes these tools aren't even accurate. There's like a 50 keyword phrase. Who bids on 50 keywords in a keyword phrase? There's something obviously wrong there. But I mean, you can still pick up, good nuggets of keywords from these tools that you never even thought about, and try testing them, and try see how they work. Was there any other questions?
Let's say you have a budget. Which one would you choose, Keyword Spy or SpyFu? If you only got one choice.
Keyword Spy is expensive. It's $90 a month, and they only allow you to export 50,000 keywords a day. SpyFu is like $300 a year, and you can export unlimited keywords. The only thing with Spy, I like Keyword Spy because it's a very clean interface, and it seems to have a little bit more accurate data than SpyFu, just in my opinion. Just in my opinion. Yep.
I just want to say, I've been doing a lot of this multi-advertising. I'm doing it for a few years, and I always establish where the company is based and where the affiliate network is based. You go back and targeting and just avoid those areas. And I never get
Sorry, hold on. Pass him the mic. That was important, okay? That was an important black hat. Give him the mic.
I think he's saying don't advertise in the market where those places are located.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So then they won't see it when they search.
Yes. Oh, sorry, hold on. Let me just shut down. Okay.
Okay, there's two things I've been doing. One is using your method of the display URL, someone else's display URL, someone much more important than me, and also direct linking when I'm not allowed to direct link to a merchant. And in those cases, I always geographically target a country and avoid these precise areas where the company is based and where the affiliate network is based, and if I can establish it, where their own advertising company is based as well. And to date, they've never picked me up on it.
Because they've never seen it.
They don't see, no one ever sees the ad, apart from
The rest of the world.
Great advice. Great advice.
Is that gentleman out of the country? Is he U.S., Canada, or do you know?
Australia.
Oh, Australia.
Okay.
Could I say one thing?
Sure. Hold on, let me just shut down my mic.
Well, I want to say, I guess, two things. One is that just being a little bit more creative, you can be more legit, not get in trouble. I mean, it's seriously a federal offense to copyright and trademark infringe. And if you got Google even slightly aware of this, it could shut down everything you've done for years. And it could also get you in trouble with an affiliate network. It could get them in federal court. So I mean, I just suggest kind of staying away from it. If you just use a little bit of creativity, you can even look at this brand's website and get ideas from their website and be legit. But it's just risky. I have to admit, I was playing around with this too, and you can get great quality scores, tons and tons of traffic. I know guys are making thousands and thousands of dollars a day. But when you start getting letters from lawyers, it's pretty serious. It's a federal offense to copyright and trademark infringe. So I just want to say, don't do it. And that's just my suggestion. I mean, there's too many other ways to make money and not cheat. I mean, if you're in Australia, maybe these guys at Netflix realize you're in Australia and it doesn't make sense to send a lawyer over there. But there's lawyers that work for McDonald's. They just get paid by what they get, you know, and so they're just always looking to sue anybody they can find. So seriously, so don't, I think you're just playing with fire. It's going to blow up. And if you just use a little creativity, you can keep yourself out of trouble.
I played with this. I'm always experimenting with new ways to generate traffic, and I played with this technique for a little while, and it made some money for the short term. But the amount of stress it created wasn't worth it, and also I got contacted by the attorney from the brand. It was a McDonald's offer, and he kind of hunted me down, and it was pretty stressful. But then I just took it down, and I thought about it for a while, and I have to agree with Dan. And Dan kind of this isn't something I focus on at all. I'm pretty much building blogs and content sites now. We have so many other tools in front of us, and I think if that's the only thing we think about, or if we focus on that, that means we're just shitty marketers.
You're gonna be losing sleep at night. Seriously, you will.
You will. I got an $18,000 chargeback at one point, and also. Well, I want to take what Dan said, and it takes a little bit of creativity, and you can take a technique that's really aggressive and sneaky and make it very legit. Like, say you're targeting an offer for L'Oreal products. Set up a WordPress blog that's got the brand name, maybe not directly in it, but it's related, and you know, you can use kind of this idea and just maybe make your blog like targeting the brand and looking like the brand, but what you're saying is true. I mean, it's illegal. You know?
Federal.
Yeah, it's a federal offense. So.
Shut down the mic. With that being said, I'm Canadian, so I really don't care. So.
Air Canada sends you a letter, right?
Well, all the lawyer letters I've gotten have gone straight into Lake Ontario. Okay. Because I feel like saying, bring it on, come and get me. But with that being said, I've never got a letter regarding that. All the letters that have come to me have been for trademark bidding. And I've always replied back, please see Geico versus Google. And then go back to law school before you send me your law papers again. And I've never had any problems about that, okay? With that being said, I'm gonna look bad here now. In order to get your trademarks into your ads, you know how you set up a trademark and you're running it in your ad and Google says, nope, trademark infringement, blah, 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 blah. Here's how to get the trademark in the ad, with Google being okay. Well, not okay, but sneak it past. If you want to get the trademark in your ad and Google's not allowing you to put the trademark in your ad, create a separate ad group, okay? Related to that particular trademark name, okay? For example, let's say McDonald's, okay? You want to promote McDonald's gift card, right? What do? You set up your ad using dynamic keyword insertion, okay? Squiggly keyword, squiggly gift card. When you watch your ad, guess what? McDonald's gift card. Google will dynamically place it in there. Use at your own risk.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yes.
I've done it.
Oh, yeah. I tested it until I got the lawyer letter.
Did you see the keyword come up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Google.
I found in some
They'll let your
verticals
ad
though,
through,
Google.
though,
I
Google
found it
has
just
some
as
verticals.
Sometimes, but sometimes you can get past. You can get past it. Because for the longest time, Dan, I couldn't figure this out. I kept trying to get the keyword in my ad, and Google kept saying trademark, trademark, trademark. But there was one guy who had been spying on me for years. He had the trademark in the ad, and I kept calling Google, and I'm saying, how's he doing it? How's he doing it? They're like, can't tell you, can't tell you. And I was just like, until I realized he was using dynamic keyword insertion, putting only the one keyword into the ad group. So it's that single keyword that's popping up. So you don't end up with, McDonald's, Ronald McDonald's gift card or whatever. It's just McDonald's gift card. Okay? Does that make sense? Was there any other questions before I get into site leverage strategy? Okay. All right. Okay. Man, I feel like I'm feeling embarrassed now. Like this next technique, I have to start it off by saying, use at your own risk. Okay.
Another one?
Yeah. But the problem is these things work. That's the problem. All right. And when they work, and if nobody's getting hurt, I call this the site leverage strategy. Okay. Now this has to do with Google placement targeting. Okay. And I talked about before the break, become part of the domain by creating an image ad that mimics the theme of the website, the colors, the font, everything, so that you become part of the website. It almost looks like the website is endorsing whatever is in this image ad. Do you see what I'm saying? So it looks a little bit more legitimate. So with that being said, you follow kind of the language that's being written on the website, how it's written. Is it corporate-y? Is it more kiddie and stuff like that? And you cater your ad to that particular type of language, because that's probably the demographic of the audience. So this is some of the stuff that I do. Okay. You could take advantage of the domain by listing it in your advertisement. Okay. Because it adds credibility to what you're promoting. Because it looks like an endorsement. Now, I don't have the creative here. I should have put it in the slideshow. But if Food Network is carrying AdSense ads, what's to stop you from creating an image that says Food Network recommends, and then your ad? And then placement targeting it on Food Network. Okay?
As seen on Food Network. They just saw it on Food Network.
Yeah,
So there it was.
exactly. No, seriously. See, this is good. This is good. It gets the juices going.
You see, I would be concerned with just saying Food Network recommends.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
Well, there's
want
different
ads.
ways you could do it.
Yeah, but as seen on Food Network, look, there it is on Food Network. You just saw it on Food Network, so it is as seen on Food Network.
You could get really sneaky about this. Okay. And this is this is just pure stupidity. So I'm going to tell you guys. Okay. This is stupidness on anybody who's carrying AdSense on their website. Okay. If guys are carrying AdSense on their websites on a thing like a squeeze page or somewhere where they're offering something, what's to stop you from targeting that web page with an ad that says so-and-so sucks above that you're reading? Because you know where the placement is, right? Don't buy this from so-and-so, whoever web page it is. Go here for the real deal. And now they could be getting or buying all this traffic to their, like, I'll give you an example, Derek. Russell's a brilliant marketer, right? I've never seen him use AdSense on any of his squeeze pages, right? If he did, what would stop me from saying Russell Brunson is a scam? Don't buy anything from him. This is the real deal. You see what I'm saying? Unless Russell has a team of people going through every page, refreshing 1,000,000 times to see every single AdSense that pops up. How would he ever know until somebody contacted him and said, dude, you suck? It says it right on your website. But do you see how that, do you see what I mean? That how you can kind of get, it's all about traffic, man, right? Jonathan, where's the mic? Get the mic.
there we go. Sort of quasi-related, but it just reminded me of this. This was years ago. One of my first sites, actually the first domain I ever bought, I had AdSense, on every page and all the usual stuff. And a couple different times, I had somebody contacting me, bent out of shape about something I was promoting on my website. And I was like, what are they talking about? I'm not promoting anything on my website. And they were all pissed off that I would endorse this so-and-so's thing, whatever. And I had no idea what they're talking about. Finally, it occurred to me that they were talking about the AdSense ads. They literally did not understand that those were not me. Those were not my links. I didn't choose them. I didn't select them. I had nothing to do with the choice of those. But they were absolutely attributing the fact that they were on my webpage with being associated with me. So, there's people associate the AdSense ads with the page that they're on a lot of the time. So,
Hold on, Robert. With that being said, you guys all aware that Google's cracked down on a cyberberry on the content network? It's because exactly what you said, Jonathan. People were going after the publishers, saying, "What crap did you sell me?" Publishers like, "What are you talking about? I saw an cyberberry ad on your website." Oh, it's those AdSense ads. So Google got inundated with complaints from the consumers and from the publishers. You're not giving my users a good user experience. They're getting caught into a cyberberry and all these. There will be a crackdown on these continuity programs on the content network, guaranteed. It's just a matter of time. Yeah.
I think another one that I've heard of is using A3, which is Amazon's ad network. And you keyword the book that is showing up in the Amazon ad. The ad beside the Amazon ad are the A3 ads that they put up, additional ads. So using your Food Network analogy, you'd find a cookbook by Emerald Lagasse that they're selling on Amazon. And if you had an offer for Emerald Lagasse's cookware that was a thing, you would place that ad, site placed, right beside that.
I'm not running that Rachel Ray campaign anymore. But how do you think I was managed to ramping up to 1,000 leads a day?
Thank you.
By site targeting these specific websites. You know what I mean?
No, I'm good.
You good? Here's the problem with that. If the website does find out, they will add you to their site exclusion because they can put it into site exclusion, and that way your ads never appear on their website. So, but like I said, I mean, the chances of them finding out is if somebody complains or if you really do it in such a really stupid way, okay? But if you can do it in such a manner, like Jonathan said, as seen on Food Network, if there's any complaints, say, what's seen on Food Network? What do you want me to do? They saw the image, it was on Food Network, right? It won't get you into as much hot water. Does that make sense, guys? All right. Okay, this is a gold mine. International traffic, okay? CPA networks know it, and that's why they're starting to get into international markets, okay? Like Brazil, Spain, Norway, Sweden, Germany. You're starting to see them branch out. And I didn't clue into this. When I was down for Affiliate Summit, I think about 2 years ago in Miami, I found one of my affiliate managers, and she was like, and another guy were at the booth, and they were like, you won't believe how many publishers are killing it with Brazilian ringtones. I was like, really? She goes, oh my God, these guys doing like $10,000 a day on Brazilian ringtones. And so I got all pumped. I was like, all right, let's go Brazilian ringtones. Here I come, right?
oh, he goes Brazilian.
I know. I go, so what's the payout? She goes, 90 cents. I said, what? 90 cents? So I'm scratching my head trying to figure out how are guys making 10,000 bucks a day on a 90-cent Brazilian ringtone offer? I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I realized it was traffic from the content network from international markets. And I didn't read this anywhere. It's just a theory, okay, that I have, is that Google has a lot of unsold international ad inventory, okay? And if you guys understand how the AdSense network works is they place ads that people have bidded on, whether it's in Canada, US, India, China, or whatever, right? once in a blue moon, if you guys have been running AdSense ads as a publisher, you see those public service ads from Google? Doesn't that just piss you off as a publisher? It's not giving a good user experience. It's not helping you as a publisher to make money. And Google knows that. So the last thing that Google wants to do is show a public service ad. So what do? They sell you traffic at dirt cheap cost to fill their inventory. So how was I able to get 1.6 million clicks for 1 cent each only?